Hey Daniel, this is Dan. I'm just going to show you a couple little things about your helicopter and your radio. Of course, this is my canopy sitting on here right now, but it's the same kind as you have. One of the things I want to do is show you battery placement. Basically, you want to be able to have the helicopter so it stays like this. It's level. Okay? If your battery is not on there right, it'll tilt. So whenever you put it, and each battery weighs, a little bit differently. So let's go through that. And you see the battery is sitting back here, which is right up against your the frame here. And so you get pretty close just doing that. But you see this is off a little bit because it doesn't have the canopy on it. So you end up having to adjust. So I can adjust this down a little ways. And we'll see what that does with him. Pretty close. I'll go just a little bit further down. And make sure that we can do it properly here. Pick it up. And it's staying pretty well level right there. That's what you're wanting. Okay, so once you know where the battery goes, then it's a matter of putting your canopy on there, and you want to always make sure that you put this lower part of the lip here, that the canopy goes into the slots here, this plastic slots. It needs to do that so that it holds, kind of squishes the canopy between this and the canopy nuts, and it squeezes out a little bit so it misses these gears. Otherwise, the gears will end up dragging the canopy. Now, I'll later go ahead and put this back on. Just show you what I've got here. Of course, you've put the gyro on there, and it's all set up. I put your new receiver on here. This is the satellite receiver right here. And everything is going through, the wiring is going through behind the ESC. You got your new tail. It's the turret tail, solid piece, and your new metal linkages, which makes it very, very nice. See, it's really nice and firm back here, like it should be. You'll want to check those nuts and bolts, periodically, make sure that they aren't coming loose. Got you a boom brace back here to stabilize everything. This is your main receiver on this side here. So your receiver's all strapped in there. Okay, and here's your new radio. This switch here is your motor kill switch, or hold. So with this particular radio, you have to have it in the back position when you turn it on, otherwise it'll complain. I'll show you. So it's beeping, it's complaining, okay? So put that in the back position. Turn it on, and then flip it forward. Remember to do that. Okay, that makes it's safe to plug the battery in. Okay, all the switches, that's back, this is back, up. Everything is up and back, except for the hold. Okay, and there's only one model that's been saved on here, and that's the 450 Heli. We go ahead and plug in the battery. You'll see that your satellite is lit up. Everything is now stabilized. And your main receiver. Now the blue light back here on the gyro means that it's in rate mode, and your switch right here where it says flap and gyro, that should turn it red. Red is head holding mode, which is what you want to fly in 99% of the time. Okay, when you're carrying the helicopter around, put it into rate mode, blue light, so that whenever you move the tail, it goes back to a center position. You'll see this, he'll move, and he returns. Okay, so it doesn't stay. In head holding mode, when I move it, it's going to stay there. Okay, it's staying at an angle, trying to get back to where the helicopter was. Head holding mode. Rate is not the same way. It'll return back to zero. Okay, so carrying it around, it's a good idea to leave it in the blue mode. Before you fly it, go ahead and put it into the red mode. Okay, with this battery plugged in and we're in rate mode, we'll go ahead and put this canopy on. And you put that lower level on first. Let me get it there. There we go. Okay. Then you rock it down. Put it on the posts. There we go. Okay. Got one post on. Now there's the second post. I got these nice fancy metal buttons here to help hold everything together. And then check to make sure you've got clearance between the gear and your fuselage. And you may have to move the canopy at the base a little bit to get it centered. There, now we're missing both sides nicely. Okay. Now we're ready to go ahead and take it out and do some flying. Okay, at least we'll do it on the porch. And this patio back here. Okay, first thing we want to do is get her set down in a nice clear area. The blue light, we want to flip the switch to red. Okay, then you take your hold, you push it away from you, and then you can start spinning her up. Pretty windy out here today. She holds real nice. That's just the right button. Let's see if we can fly a little bit out here in the wind. We'll just set her back down so that I can get under this electric wire. There we go. Okay, here we go. Back up. The settings are kind of loose. In other words, it's not real tight on its movements. Holds pretty nice. I will play with some of the settings for the sensitivity and expo before I send it back, and I'll do that probably in the next couple of days. And she's flying really nice. Yeah, we do need to trim it up a little bit. A little bit of tail motion there. So a little bit of work to do. Just tightening it up. So overall it's looking pretty decent. You know, pros are never going to just sit there. A pro type helicopter like this, they're not going to just sit there and hover. You're always having to work the sticks with these guys. Alrighty. Little wind catching me right there. Okay, before you approach the helicopter, make sure that you flip this hold switch back towards you, like that. Leave the radio on. And then you can go ahead and power it off. Take the canopy off and power it off. One thing you should know, you see the red light is on still on gyro, well, that's good. You want to flip that off. But if you just so happen to see it blinking, then you could take this and toggle it 3 times and it should bring it back to red. We're going to handle the helicopter, so we're going to put it back in rate mode so that we don't cause any kind of problems with the servos back here. Alright, I'll go disconnect the battery and everything, and I'm calling this video done. Alrighty, enjoy this thing.